Okay, right. What is the last concept? Test plan, right? Okay. Let's complete on that. Okay. So we have been taking care about in implementing well. What is it? Still, how many days we'll write these headings? Uh-huh. Ah. What is the meaning of STLC? Oh. What is that? Perfect. What is the first step in STLC? Requirements, understanding. Okay. After that, test plan. After that, test scenarios. After that, test cases. Okay. After that, test execution. After that, bug reporting. What is the last activity? Test closure. Right? So the whole manual testing. If we want to begin implement any kind of the project, we need to begin taking care about in implementing these particular steps here. In that, the one we got taking care about requirements understanding. In that, based on that particular project, it depends on that project or it depends on that particular client. Based on that project or based on that particular client, whatever requirement documents are available, they need to be get refer the required documents here and need to be get understood what are the functionalities need to be get tested. In simple, considering that we need to be get refer available requirement documents here. As part of that particular project, whatever requirement documents are available, we need to be get refer all that particular documents and we have to understand that what are the functionalities need to be get tested here. Once we are clear about with the requirements, we got an option of test plan. This test plan done by test plan is done by who will do the test plan? Test lead. So the test lead taking care about in implementing or in preparing that particular test plan here. The test lead is the responsible in implementing with test plan here. As a tester or having any fresher level or having the experience of 3 to 4 years, you are not involving in implementing with test plan here. So the test lead is taking care about in implementing or preparing that particular respective test plan here. For that to implement that particular test plan, to implement that particular test plan, the test lead is taking care about entry criteria and then considering the exit criteria. What is the meaning of entry criteria? What is it? Reference documents here. We are mentioning the documents to be referred to perform that activity. In a simple way, considering the reference documents here. So the meaning of entry criteria, considering the reference documents here. At the same time, we got exit criteria. What is the meaning of exit criteria? Result or output here. So considering that the test lead need to get refer all the related documents for preparing the test plan. By referring that particular respective documents, he need to be get coming up with in documenting with test plan here. In the very first document, what is the first document need to refer? As part of entry criteria, what is the first document need to refer? Approved PMP. Mentioning the approved PMP. Meaning of PMP? Project Management Plan. Who will prepare the PMP document? Who will prepare? Project Manager. So project manager taking care about in preparing this PMP document by referring that particular document. Plan need to be. So the first document considering the approved PMP. What is another document? Approved SRS. One considering the approved PMP. Another one considering the approved SRS. Meaning of SRS? Software Requirement Specification. What is the use of SRS document? What is the use of the SRS document? You written the description for SRS. What is the description written? To understand what are the functionalities need to be tested. It can be tester perspective or it can be test lead perspective. By referring the SRS document, it can be tester or it can be test lead. We can understand what are the functionalities need to be tested. So based on that, the test lead also can come up with the plan here. So test lead taking care about in referring with approved PMP document and then approved SRS document. What is the next one? Test plan guidelines. Meaning of the guidelines? Rules and regulations. So the guidelines considering the rules and regulations. So to prepare that particular plan, what are all that particular rules need to be get followed. That will be getting considering the test plan guidelines here. In a similar way, we got test plan template. So what is the meaning of test plan template? What is it? The meaning of template is format. So the meaning of template, we are considering the format. As part of that project, as part of that particular project, we need to begin coming up with what exactly the format has to be followed. So the test lead need to begin taking care about referring all these documents here based on the information available in that particular documents. He need to be get coming up with preparing the plan. While preparing the plan, he need to be get start documenting each and every information. While documenting It depends on the lead. It's not like mandatory that everyone need to be get document with the same thing here. It depends on test lead. As part of that particular project, the test lead need to be get coming up with in providing all that particular respective details here in a very generalized way. In any testing project, the common information provided in the test plan, considering the very first point. What is the first point? What is it? Introduction. The very first point, considering the introduction, mentioning the as part of that particular project, as part of that particular project, I mean, the test lead need to be provide some introduction related to test plan. Along with the introduction, he need to be provide objective of that particular plan. He has to provide introduction. Along with the introduction, he need to be get coming up with what exactly objective of the plan. At the same time, what will be the scope of the document need to be get provided. Apart from these things, the another important one, considering the test strategy. Another important one, considering the test strategy. The meaning of test strategy. What is the meaning of test strategy? What is it? Process, or we can consider that as part of that project requirement, as part of that project requirement, what are all different types of testings need to be done. As part of that project requirement, what are all different types of testings need to be done. Under the test plan, it will be getting test strategy. First is test plan. Under the plan, it will be getting with strategy here. In a similar way, having with environment requirements. What are the environments we can mention? Development environment, considering the dev environment. Another one, testing environment. Another one, live environment or production. So the meaning of this statement, as simple as we can consider that URL. As simple as we can consider that URL. Like development people, they will be using one URL. Testing people, they will use one more URL. And live will be having one more URL. Rather than considering as a URL, when it's come to the test plan, here it got mentioning the environment. In which environment we have to test the application. What is the next one? What is it? Test schedule. What is the meaning of schedule? Timelines. The meaning of schedule, considering the timelines here. While performing any activity, you will be having some timelines will be there. As a best example, if we consider with the BTech, in how many years it has to be complete? 4 years or 5 years? How many years? 4 years only. I mean, He got one schedule, like as part of that BTech, it has to be completed in 4 years. Or if we consider our training program, in how many months it has to complete? How many months? 3 months here. It will never complete in before 3 months here. Definitely it will be taking more than 3 months. I mean, we got some timelines here, like started in one particular day and it has to be complete in certain day. Like to perform each and every activity, you will be having some timelines will be there. In a similar way, when it's come to the testing, when testing need to be started and when testing need to be complete, not only testing, as part of the testing, when we have to start with scenarios, when it has to be complete, when we have to start the testing cases, when it has to be complete, all that particular timelines will be provided as part of the test schedule. Because of these things, the test plan is not prepared by the fresher level, because as a fresher level you cannot estimate that how much time it will take to perform the respective activity. Because of that, always test plan has been prepared by test lead. Okay, after test schedule, what is the next one? Control procedure. Under that, what are the things we got? Review and bug review. If we consider with the review, under review, what are the things we got? What is the first one? Peer review. After that, what is it? Senior tester review. After that, test lead review. What is the meaning of peer review? What is it? Colleague review or team member review. So the meaning of peer review, considering the colleague review or team member review of the same project, not like different project. The team member related to same project, not different project. That is the first review. What is the second review? Considering the senior tester. Considering with second review, mentioning the senior tester. And then we got test lead. So test lead, we can consider the final review. A very rare cases, manager will take care about the review. Not like very regularly, not like very regularly. A very rare cases, manager will be taking with review. But very regular, very common, considering the peer review, senior tester review, and then test lead review. Apart from these things, the test lead is the responsible in taking care about bug review. Like what are the bugs has been identified? Is that particular bugs has been correct or not? That's need to be get reviewed by the test lead here. The third, it will come under considering the reviews here. Similar to that, we got some more options here. The seventh point. What is the seventh point? What is it? Functions to be tested. What is the eighth point? Functions not to be tested. We got two things here. One is functions to be tested. Another one, functions not to be tested. Meaning of the statement, don't be confused here. Sometimes the client will be expecting, that project need to be tested in any specific browser. For example, the client will say that, so testing team, you can test my project in Chrome browser, not required to test in Firefox browser. See the understanding. He was clearly mentioning that test my application for Chrome browser, not required to test for Firefox browser, considering the functions not to be tested. Thus, client is clearly mentioning that not required Firefox browser. Then we doesn't require to test the application in Firefox browser. In a similar way, sometimes the clients will expect, for example, if we consider, let's take banking application, online banking, you can install the app. If required, related to online banking, you can install that required app in the mobile. But is that, do we have any app in the mobile for ATM? No, because ATM, it's mandatory that you have to go to that ATM machine. It's not like we can operate ATM machine from the mobile. So for that ATM related software, we doesn't require mobile app here. But in case of online banking, we required a mobile app also. So we will have some specific requirements will be there. Because of that, as a test lead, test lead has to be coming up with in providing the information of what need to be tested, considering the functions to be tested. As an example of ATM related software, for web application, we have to test it. Mobile app, not required. Functions to be tested, that web application need to be tested. Related to that, functions not to be tested. Mobile app, not required to test it. So similar to that, as a test lead, according to the requirement document or based on the client requirement, he need to be get coming up with in what are the functionalities need to be tested and what are the functionalities not to be tested. So that is what we got an option, considering the functions to be tested and then functions not to be tested. So don't be confused here. As part of the testing project or as part of the test plan, the test lead need to be get coming up with in understanding or in providing the information of what are the functions to be tested and what are the functions not to be tested here. So that is what, considering the functions to be tested, functions not to be tested. Okay. What is the next one? What is it? What is it? resources and responsibilities. The meaning of resources. What is the meaning of resources? Meaning of resources according to the IT. According to the IT terminology, resources, team members, considering the employees. According to the IT terminology, the meaning of resources, considering the team members or employees here. To complete that project or to perform the testing, how many employees has been required in that how many freshers has been required and how many experience has been required. So the test lead need to begin coming up with the plan saying that as part of our required 6 members of the testers or required 10 members of the tester, considering the 10 resources or 6 resources. So what is the meaning of resources? Team members or employees. So the meaning of resources, considering the team members or considering the employees. It's not like considering how many employees required. It's not like considering how many employees required. Once you confirm how many resources, considering that test lead mentioned required 6 resources. In that 6 resources, how many freshers has been required? How many experienced people has been required? First is resources. Meaning of resources? What is it? Team members or employees. Those employees also, how many fresher level and how many employees of experience. In case of fresher level, what he has to perform. In case of experience level, what he has to perform. That is what? Responsibilities. The meaning of responsibilities. What are the activities they have to perform? First is identify how many resources has been required. In that, what are the activities they have to perform? As a fresher level, what they have to do it. As an experience level, what they have to perform. Considering the resources and responsibilities. Okay. What is the next one? Deliverables and milestones. First one, deliverables. What is the meaning of that? Meaning of deliverables. See the best example. You guys are very well knowing about mobile. Knowing it? Knowing or not? Mobile. Okay. When you are purchasing any mobile, assume that You got purchase the mobile. When you purchase any mobile, along the mobile, what you will get? When you purchase any mobile, along with the mobile, what you will get? Charger, very important. Uh-huh. One is mobile and charger. Those two. Uh-huh. What you will get? Earphones, okay. Apart from that, Bluetooth, okay. Charger is okay, earphones is okay. But apart from that, Billy will get okay. User guide. Getting the user manual? Getting or not? We never see that, sir. We require charger, sir, and we require the earphones. See that. Apart from the mobile, you are purchasing the mobile. Apart from that mobile, you are getting with user manual also. It's not like you are purchasing user manual. Is that you are purchasing the user manual? No. What you are purchasing? Mobile. When you are purchasing with the mobile, along with the mobile, they are delivering the charger or earphones or manual here. Meaning is any product has been delivered. Apart from that product, what are other things need to be get delivered? In a similar way, while working the testing also, you will release the project to the client. You will test the project. You will complete the testing. Once you complete the testing, that project will be released. Along that project, what are the things need to be get delivered? Along with the project, what are the things need to be get delivered? So what are the things we can deliver? You will release the project. Apart from releasing the project or while releasing the project, along with the project, what we can deliver? Headphones will deliver. No, right? I mean, not like user manual. Similar to user manual, we have to send all our testing related documents. I mean, test scenario document, test cases document, bug reporting document, requirement document. You are delivering the project. Along with the project, you have to deliver requirements, what client has been provided, and all the testing related documents to confirm that what are the testing we have been done, we have to deliver those documents also. Considering the deliverables here. Deliverable means what test lead has to do is, apart from releasing that project, what are all other documents need to deliver, he need to provide that information also, considering the deliverables. And what is another one? What is it? Milestone. Now, what is mean that milestone? Meaning of milestones. That is one stone, sir. It's not like in a stone. You did not heard about it. When you are doing your B.Tech, what will be your milestone? We don't have any milestones, sir. First BTech has to be completed without any backlogs. That is what our milestone. The meaning of milestone, nothing but target. The meaning of the milestone is we can consider that targets here. What are the things we have to achieve it? Whatever the work you are doing, based on that, what are the things we have to achieve it? That is what will be considered milestone. As example of your BTech. So in case of BTech, what will be the milestone? BTech has to be completed without any backlogs here. Anyway, that BTech already completed. Now what you are doing? Now what you are doing? Uh-huh. Doing the testing training. Any doubt in that? No, right? What is the training you are doing? What is it? What is it? Software testing. That is the one training program you are doing. So this particular training program, what will be the target? What is the target? Job, not marriage. What is the target? What is it? First is job here. Okay. So now, as you were doing with the training program, you got a target of getting the job here. So that you will have a target. So that particular targets we are considering as a milestones here. So the meaning of milestones, the meaning of milestones, considering that what are the targets we have to achieve as part of that particular project. So meaning of milestones. So what is the meaning of the milestones? Considering the targets here. Okay. What is the next one? What is it? Defect management. So the meaning of defect management. As a tester, our job role is to test the application. As a tester, our job role is we need to test the application. While testing the application, we are identifying the bugs, considering the defects. While testing the application, we are identifying the bugs here, or we can consider the defects. Once we got identify the defects. Once we got identify the defects, what we have to do? Our main job role is to test the application. While testing the application, we are identifying the bugs. Once we got identify the bugs, what we have to do? Once we got identify the bugs, what are all other activities need to be done? Or how to identify the bugs? Main thing is how to identify the bugs. Once we got identify the bugs, what are other activities need to be done? So that information need to be provided as part of the defect management. So the test lead has to be taking care about in providing the information now. Once bugs has been identified, what are the next level activities need to be done? All that information need to be provided as part of defect management. See the concepts. The one we got functions to be tested. According to the project requirement, what are the functions need to be tested at the same time? What is another one? Functions not to be tested. As part of that project requirement, what are the functionalities not required to test it? What is the next one? Resources. Meaning of resources? Team members or employees. Meaning of the responsibilities? What are the activities those guys need to be performed? Resources saying the team members. What are the activities need to be done by the team members, considering the responsibilities? And then we got deliverables. What is the meaning of deliverables? Considering that what are the things need to deliver as part of the project, or in simple way we can considering the documents to be delivered. You are delivering the project, that is okay. Apart from that project, what are all other documents need to deliver? So considering like scenario document, test cases document, bug reporting document, or requirement related documents, any documents, considering that what are the documents need to deliver. Okay. Next, what is the next one? Milestones. Meaning of the milestones? Targets here. Okay. Next we got defect management. So the meaning of defect management, considering the how to identify the bugs. Once bugs has been identified, what are the next level activities need to be done? So all that information provided as part of defect management. Okay, next. What is the next one? What is it? Dependencies. Under dependencies. What is the first one? What is it? Personal dependencies. So what is the meaning of personal dependencies? That is personal, sir. Right. See the meaning. So what is the first one we got? Personal dependencies. So what exactly the meaning of personal dependencies? As part of the test plan, we got the 9th point. What is the 9th point we got? Resources. What is the meaning of that resources? Team members or employees. Now consider that test lead has been decided that required 6 resources. They recruited 6 resources. According to the 6 resources, he came up the plan. Now, test lead has been considered 6 members are available in the team. According to that, he prepared the plan. All 6 members are available. All 6 members are working on the project. So while working on the project, suddenly one of the member went for vacation, like marriage vacation, final target. Now assume that in a members of 6 members, one of the member went for marriage vacation. Marriage vacation, how many days? 1 month. 1 month of golden days completed. There is no chance of getting with the 1 month for marriage vacation. Previously that option is there, but now that golden days completed here, maximum he will get 1 week he will get. 1 week only. In case of manager is okay, already he was fighting with his wife, then he will say that let's take 2 weeks here. Okay. So it depends on managers here. Nowadays, previously 2 weeks is there, but nowadays most of the time from 2 weeks also it is reduced 1 week only. Some more managers are there. They will say that Rod required 1 week also. 2 days is more enough. Remaining days take work from home. That facility is already available. See that. Now consider that we got team of the 6 members. In a team of the 6 members, one person went for vacation. Assume that by lucky he got 2 weeks vacation. He went for 2 weeks vacation. He went for marriage. But plan is done for how many members? Plan is done for how many members? 6 members. But suddenly this member went for vacation. How many weeks? 2 weeks here. Now these 2 weeks, whatever the work has been planned, who has to do that work? Who has to do that work? He will only doing, sir. Already he was enjoying in a marriage, coming back and need to do it. Is it possible? No, right? So whatever the work already assigned to him, we cannot kept as a whole. Remaining other team members need to be get distribute that particular work. I mean, it got like personal dependency. It's not like any specific plan. So suddenly one member has been went for vacation. So whatever that work he has to do it got a dependency for other team members here. So that kind of things we can consider as a personal dependencies. Because of these reason, when you guys are working in the real time, what test lead will be doing is before preparing the plan, first test lead will drop an email to the all the team members asking that. What you will ask that? Before preparing the test plan, test lead will be dropping one email to all the team members asking the information. What is the information he was asking? He will be asking that any vacation plan for the next 2 to 3 months. These things definitely happen. When you guys started working in the real time, what test lead will be doing is, first he will be asking each and every team member saying that is there any vacation plan for the next 2 to 3 months. According to that, he can come up with preparing with the plan here. So all these things come under personal dependencies. Okay. What is the next one? What is it? Software dependencies. What is the meaning of that? Software dependencies. What is this, guys? Your browser. Which browser we required? Operating system. Which operating system we required? I mean, we are the tester. We have to test the application. Is that application need to be tested only in one particular browser or need to be tested in all the browsers? Is that need to be tested only in one operating system or need to be tested in multiple operating system? If client is saying that I required need to be testing Windows operating system and Linux operating system, then you need to be get install both the operating systems need to be available in the laptop. So because of that, before getting started the testing, the test lead need to be coming up with gathering all this information. So test lead in the test plan, he need to be clearly mentioned that what are the operating systems need to install or what are the browsers need to be get installed. Because when you're working with the real time, it's not like your personal laptop, anything download from the Google. We cannot download any information in the company laptops here. You will have restrictions will be there. Your manager or client has to give a approval for downloading any of the required softwares here. Because of that, because of that, before getting started the project, the test lead need to be get coming up with all these information considering the software dependencies. Okay. What is the next one? What is it? Hardware. What is it? Hardware dependencies? Software, okay. Consider like browsers, operating systems, or any specific softwares need to install. But what about hardware then? What is it? RAM. Nothing but your laptop. Hardware is nothing but your laptop. Assume that if your laptop is working very slow, is it possible to continue the testing? No. If the system is very slow or internet is very slow, is it possible to? We cannot do the testing here. Because of that, those things also consider. It will be mentioned according to that application. What will be minimum RAM speed or minimum processor? How much fast of internet has been required? All these particular things will come under hardware dependencies. Everything consider. Testing means it's not like just taking the application and then testing it. Everything need to be followed. So as a test lead, according to that project, as a test lead, according to that particular project, he need to begin coming up with providing the information. Okay, this is our project. According to the project, minimum 4 GB RAM or 6 GB RAM, whatever it can be. Based on that project, need to begin coming up with providing the details. So hardware you can consider like your laptop. Hardware dependency. What is the next one? What is it? Test data and database. First one is test data. So the meaning of test data. The meaning of test data. We are considered as a tester. What is the job role of the tester? What is the job role of the tester? What we have to do? We have to test the application. Testing the application means it's not like you are testing the application with only one test data. You have to try, you have to test with different combinations. We have to test the application. We have to test the application with the different combination. As a best example, let's consider login functionality. We have to test with valid username, valid password. That username and password, what you are entering, we can consider as a test data. Invalid username, invalid password. Whatever invalid username you are entering, invalid password you are entering, consider as a test data. Considering that to test that application, whatever the data you are using, to test that application, whatever the data you are using, we can consider as a test data. Like in real time, the test lead need to come up with all these information. Is that client is providing any specific test data, or as a tester, do we need to use any tools to generate the test data, or in very common way taking that very general test data? So what kind of test data we have to use it to test that application? So that information need to be provided as part of the test data. So now the test lead need to provide what kind of the test data need to use it. What is the next one? What is it? Database. See that. So one is test data. What kind of test data need to be using? Another one, database. I mean, the test lead need to be get provide. Do we required to install any database in our system? To access that application, do we required to download to download or to install any specific databases in the system. That information need to be provided. Or as a tester, do we required to test the database also? Because in some projects will test the database, in some projects will not test the database. It depends on requirement. It depends on the client requirement. Because of the test lead need to be get coming up with providing this information also. Test lead need to be get coming up with in providing this information also. Considering that is that need to required to download or to install any of the databases. Is that only installation, or is that we have to continue the testing? That information need to provide it as part of the test plan. So you guys, nothing to worried about all these things. You are not doing anything. All these activities taking care by the test lead. So test lead will take care about what is that softwares, what are the hardwares, what kind of data, what kind of database, all these information taking care by the test lead only. But you have to aware of that what are the information provided as part of the test plan. So considering the dependencies, mentioning the personal dependencies, and then software dependencies. What kind of the software is required? Another one, hardware dependencies. Considering that what kind of the laptop has been required. After that, test data. What kind of the data need to use to test that application? And then database. So what kind of database need to be installed, or what kind of database need to be tested? We need to be coming up with that information. Along with these things need to be taking care about some more option. Considering that, what is it? Risk. What is the meaning of that? Risk means risk only. Considering like challenges. The meaning of risk is there any kind of challenges are there? Like when you're working real time, when you're working in the real time, sometimes there may be some difficulties or challenges to test that application. So because of that, the test lead need to be get assumed or need to be get coming up with, is there any challenges to test that application? For example, assume that you have to test more functionalities, but you got in a very less time. You have to test all the functionalities, but client is not providing enough time to complete the testing. That will become a challenge because testing need to be done, but coming to the time, client has been provided the less time only. So any kind of challenges are there, or is there any kind of the risk in that particular testing? All these kind of information need to be get gathered by the test lead. So as a tester, we cannot do all these things here. Test lead has already he got some experience. He need to be get coming up with taking care about all these things here. So as a test lead, he need to be get coming up with in analyzing is there any risk in the testing. So the meaning of risk is considering like challenges, or we can mention the difficulties. Is there any difficulties to test that particular application? Okay. What is the next one? What is it? Tools. What is the meaning of this? Tools. Is there any manual testing related tools or any tools related to automation testing? We are working on testing. Our training program. What is our training program? Software testing. Under software testing, what we are learning? Monday testing. Not Monday testing. What is it? What is it? Manual testing. No, don't come up with your own things here. No. Manual testing. Another one is automation testing. Manual testing also we can use some tools. Even though manual testing, we can utilize some tools here. Automation testing also we can go with the tools here. So as a test lead need to be get coming up with, is there any tools related to manual testing? At the same time, is there any tools related to automation testing? So test lead need to be get identifying any tools related to manual testing and any tools related to automation testing. So what are all that particular tools are there need to be get provided. So the one risk. What is the meaning of the risk? Challenges, or we can considering like difficulties. And then tools. Meaning of the tools? What are the manual tools and what are the automation tools need to use it to perform the testing here? Okay. Next. In a similar way, we got documentation. What is that 15th point? Documentation. Now, what is the meaning of that? Documentation. Documentation is what are the documents has been required. What are the documents has been required related to that project? Like the one we can consider requirement documents, mentioning like BRS document, another one SRS document, FRS document, or we can consider mock-ups also. Like if we look into the documents, BRS document, SRS document, FRS document, mock-ups. Along with these things, test scenario document, test scenario document, test case document, test scenario document, test case document, bug reporting document. Still, any other documents related to that project, related to that project, what are the documents has been required related to that project, what are the documents has been required, we have to mention all that particular document names. The name considering the documentation. So the meaning of documentation as part of that project, what are the documents has been required, need to provide all that particular information considering the documentation. Okay. What is the next one? What is it? Approvals here. So the meaning of approvals. Let's consider test plan. Who will prepare the test plan? Who will prepare? Test lead. Who has to approve the test plan? Who has to approve the test plan? Manager. Plan is prepared by the test lead, approved by the manager. For example, assume that when you are working, testing as a tester, you are preparing the scenarios. That scenarios need to be get approved by the test lead here. I mean, different levels will be there. Based on the document, different levels will be there. Considering test plan, who is preparing the test plan? Test lead. Who is approving the test plan? Manager. Let's consider PMP document. What is meaning of PMP? Project Management Plan. Who is preparing PMP? Who is it? Who is it? Project Manager. Who has to approve the PMP? Who has to approve the PMP? Client. Client has to approve the PMP. Okay. So PMP document has been prepared by manager. He was coming up the whole project plan. Either that project plan is okay or not. Client has to approve it. So different levels we got it. So what are all that levels? What are all that levels need to be done? That will be taking with approvals here. Okay. What is the next one? Entry criteria and exit. Entry criteria is meaning of entry criteria. Reference documents. Meaning of exit criteria. Result or output. So for each and every level, what are the entry criteria and what are the exit criteria need to be get provided. But the whole understanding, meaning of entry criteria, reference documents, exit criteria, result or output here. What is the next one? What is it? Test suspension. What is the meaning of that? Now, you guys may heard about in the news. Okay. If you look into any of the news, the people will say that one of the government employee has been suspended. Heard or not? Seeing the news or not? We are very busy with the other things, sir. When you're seeing some news, the people will say that this particular person has been suspended. So what is the meaning of that? Meaning of suspended is considering that he was temporarily removed from the duties, not like permanently. It's not like permanently. For some time being, he was kept as a hold. He was not doing any work. He was kept as a hold for some time till the time of that issue has been resolved. Once that issue has been resolved, then he will be back to the office here. I mean, because of some issue, in case of any issue is there, then only employee suspended. Without any issue, employees will suspended? No, right? At any cost, any specific issue has to be there, then only that employee will be suspended from the duties here. Once that issue got resolved is with proper explanation, then he will be revert back to the duties here. Same concept applied. Assume that. Simple understanding. You are working on testing. Testing is going on. Suddenly, server has, URL has been not working. You are testing the application. That application URL is not working. If URL is not working, can we continue testing activities? No. URL itself is not working. We cannot continue our testing activities till the time of that issue need to resolve. Till the time of that issue need to resolve, we have to suspend our testing activities. Till the time of that issue need to resolve, we need to suspend our testing activities. That is what you are considered test suspension. Once issue resolved, what we'll do? We'll start continue the testing. Once issue has been resolved, we'll start continue the testing. That will consider as a test resumption. Test suspension, stopping the testing for time being, not like permanently, stopping the testing for the time being till the time of that issue need to resolve. Once issue resolved, we will be taking care about restarting the testing activities, considering the test resumption. Okay. What is the last one? What is it? Test completion. So as part of completing the project, or completing the testing, what are the things need to be done? That information need to be get provided. So as part of completing the testing, what are the things need to be done? So that's need to be get provided in the document. So all these information taken care by the test lead. But at any cost, you guys need to be get aware of that. What are all these information? If interviewer is asking that explain test plan, then you have to comfortable in explaining about these particular points here. So take care about these particular things and just take new heading. Just have a heading is test scenarios. Just take with the new heading is test scenarios. Just only heading, I'll discuss on it. Just having a new heading is test scenarios. This is what the very most important one need to be started, because that is what your job role. In case of test plan, who will do the test plan? Who will prepare the test plan? Test lead. Scenarios. Who has to prepare test scenarios? Who has to prepare? Tester. So we have to prepare the scenarios. So what is mean by that? How to prepare that? Everything will understand. But to prepare the scenarios, what we require? Requirement document. Having the printouts. Every day we are bringing, sir, but you are not asking, sir. Carry that printout. So from tomorrow, we'll take that requirement document and we'll start preparing the scenarios here. Okay? Clear? Carry on. Thank you. Online students, if you have any questions, you can wait. Online students, if you have any questions, you can wait. Right. Online students, if you have any questions, you can carry on. Yes. So right now, I just have a confusion. Like, when was the waterfall model? Repeat the models will be coming into the picture. No. That is what I clearly explained in the starting days. Because of the testing, there is no model. Models are, it can be development or it can be testing, it can be any model. Our testing concepts will be the same. Okay. It can be any model, our testing concepts will be the same. You can consider like agile or you can consider V model. Okay. Okay. So the models will be decided by the testing? No, that will be decided in a top management. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, guys. Take care of. Hello, sir. Good evening. Sir, when interview, is there any difference in if you going to as a experience level and you going to the fresher level? So while interview, giving the answer to the interviewer in front of the interviewer, so is there any different thing when you consider as an experience and consider as a because of fresher level testing different definition, because of experience different definition, it's not like that. The only thing is when you're considering that experience level, little bit you have to more confident, because you are saying that you are already worked on it. So already worked on means you have to be more confident while explaining. That is what you have to look into that. So that's the reason you have to take with the more practice. Okay. Okay. Right.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Before testing, test lead writing test plan, right?
Right.
All points he will fill up. All points
He will take care of all the plan will be done by the test lead only. Okay.
Then how he will cover the test resumption and test suspension before testing?
No. He was saying that in case of these issues are there, this suspension need to be done. Once it is resolved, we need to restart that. That information will be provided. He was not saying that this time we have to stop it. Okay. He was coming up the information related to that. Okay. Okay. Right.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have to learn SRS. In that SRS, application development.
I'll discuss all the SRS. I'll discuss in the tomorrow session. Nothing to worry. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sir, good evening.
Yeah. Yes.
Please explain test resumption one more time, sir.
Test resumption is now assume that because of some issue, testing has been kept as a whole. Once that issue has been resolved, we have to restart doing our testing activity. So restarting our testing activity, we are considering as a test resumption.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.